Hello and welcome to North Star Stamper. I'm Sue Kremer. Today we are going to talk about this new technique, well it was new to me, called the ink spot swipe. That's what I'm calling it, because you literally swipe an ink spot across your paper to give yourself a background. Let me find myself on my tablet. I love interacting with you when I'm live. Let's see here. There we go. Alright, I see I need to get this out of the way a little bit. Alright, so what is an ink spot? Maybe you don't know that. So here's some samples, and I have a few others to show you as well. So I have some alternatives if you don't have ink spots or don't want to purchase them. This one was done with the ink spots, and this was done with a sponge. You get a very similar background for your card. And we'll talk about those more. And there's all the places I am on the internet. Alright, these are our ink spots, and these are the ones I'm going to use tonight. I have Terracotta Tile, Parapizzazz, Daffodil Delight, and Calypso Coral, in case you're wondering. Alright, so ink spots. They are on the annual catalog. Hello, thank you for joining me. The annual catalog, page 147, there are ink spots, and then this is what people call the beginner brochure. It's just a less overwhelming catalog and very little catalog brochure. And they are here as well, these ink spots that you can purchase. My ink spots did come from Paper Pumpkin, which is why I have quite a few. All right. And then this card was also done with sponges, and sponges are also on 147, I think. And they are very affordable. I've been using them a lot, so I think it's time for me to buy some more sponges. All right. So let's talk about my samples, and then I'm going to show you the technique, both with sponges and the ink spots. While we're waiting for more people to join us, and hopefully more people will, if you are not a demonstrator and you haven't ordered from me in the last 6 months, or if you have ordered from me, I am having Stampin' Up! Send you the January through June mini catalog as well as the celebration brochure. And while I'm thinking of it, the celebration is running a little different in 2021. Or they're going to have two different celebrations. One is going to be January and February, and then the second one is going to be July and August. So hopefully I'll remember to say that again later when we have more people watching. All right, so this technique, you literally take your ink spot and swipe it across, and I'm not going to do it yet. I do want to show you my samples first. So this was done with, I have to look, Cherry Cobbler and Basic Gray. And I actually used a designer series paper. I'm getting kind of fancy. So this is the designer series paper I used on that card, and then this card, you'll see a new stamp set there too. I used this wood grain, and those two are from the In Good Taste designer series paper. I'm not sure why I chose designer series paper when the gal that demoed it at Onstage used cardstock. So I must have had DSP sitting on my table, and that's what I chose to do. And I have envelopes down here too, and I stamped. So maybe I should talk about what I used here. These two cards, actually these first three, I used a new stamp set that I got. I could purchase this and some other things at for our convention. Enjoy the Moment is going to be in the new mini catalog starting in January. We'll talk about this more another time. Somebody did identify what all those seed pods were, so that's pretty fun. So that's a new stamp, in case you're wondering where I got that stamp set from. Okay, so we talked about that one. This one, I chose to do the technique with regular ink pad and a sponge. And again, that was on a wood grain designer series paper. And I thought, well, let's play around and make shapes with our ink spots. So that was a fun one to do. And this Happy Birthday is in this stamp set, so I'll be using that one a lot. Here I used a variety of colors. You can see I wasn't even straight with my ink spots, and I kind of like it. Again, I used designer series paper, and this one is my favorite. I used the Sailing Home stamp set for my images, and again, that's wood grain to get those lines. And then I used a variety of blue inks. And if you want to know, I made a note where did my note go? I lost my note. I used a variety of blue inks. I think I used Pool Party, Seaside Spray, Pool Party, Balmy Blue, Pacific Point, and Night of Navy. The names really lend to a water-themed card. So those are my cards I have to show you. Now let's get busy and try the technique. Let me grab a piece of scratch paper. Sorry, it's not a clean one. It's going to be dirty in about 2 minutes anyway. Do I need to talk about these? Probably not. All right, let me clean up a little bit here. Oh, I should mention the ink spots in the beginner brochure. They have it paired with this cute fruit stamp set, which I know I've used in a video before. And the ink spots in that pack of 8 lend itself so that you can color these. There's a red and a green and a yellow and a gray to do the faces and all. So that's a fun one. Haven't used that in a while. So we're gonna start, and I haven't done this before, so this is gonna be kind of exciting to see the difference between using the designer series paper, and this is from the Peony Garden, or just cardstock. Let's start with cardstock. And I chose these colors because of this designer series paper. Any questions as we get going? I see people saying hello. So let's get started. We're going to start with Calypso Coral. You literally take your ink spot, and these might be dry. I don't know how old they are. Let's just test it here. And I'm going to try to go straight. Ooh, that's very, very dark. The demonstration we saw on stage, she used bright colors and did get it that dark. So you can notice that on the cards I showed you, I didn't get that much ink. Boy, those aren't very different, are they? That first one was Calypso Coral. This is Terracotta Tile. Maybe let's swipe again and try to get more ink. I'm going to go slower. Oh, I guess it is different. It'll dry differently too. And Daffodil Delight, nice yellow. I'm going slow to get more ink on the paper. That's more like the demonstration we saw last weekend. I think it was Friday. And if you go slow, you get lots of ink on there. Oh, interesting. All right, so that's just on cardstock. And it's pretty much dry. If I touched it, I might get ink on my fingers. Let's try it with this designer series paper. And I'm just swiping across. You know what? I think I like, let me get my cards back here. I think I like this look with less ink. What do you think? So I went really slow to get a lot of ink on the paper, and this I swiped relatively fast pace, and like I said, I think my ink pads were drier. But anyway, since we're going with this one, and then we're going to do the same colors, Terracotta Tile, because it's the ones I have handy. No, I'm going to be consistent. We're going to go all the same. And Daffodil Delight. Oh, it's moving. That one you can really see. And Pear Pizzazz. I thought they were good flower colors. Oh, that's so dark you can't see the designer series paper behind it. Alright, so there's one option. Now, another option. I have to cut some paper here. I have another piece of cardstock, but I don't have a piece of designer series paper. And there's the back side, so that would be kind of interesting to see. And I'm cutting these at 4 inches, so it'll give me a nice border on a standard card by 5 1/4. Alright. So if you don't have the ink spots and you still want to get this, have this technique, I'm going to use a sponge. And that is my orangish sponge. I have these same colors, excuse my reach, in our regular ink pads. Let me clean up a little bit here. And then we'll make a card out of one of these tonight too. So, kind of feel like I need to ask you a question and you can talk to me. So I'm just inking up my sponge in my pad. Hopefully you can see. And then I'm just swiping. This one is Calypso Coral. It is much fainter, but I kind of like it. I can see the designer series paper. You know what? We're going to do both at the same time, rather than pulling the ink out again. So this is just white cardstock. And you see it's darker on the edges, I think because of the lip on there. So I'm going to start in the middle and get a more uniform color. And since terracotta tile is, to me, just a darker version of Calypso Coral, I'm not even going to clean my sponge. I'm just going to add some terracotta tile. To my card. That's my cardstock and my DSP here. There we go. Let's start in the middle and get some darker color. All right. Use my little box to try to keep things clean. Hopefully I don't need to. Let's do the same order. Daffodil Delight is next. And I think this is a relatively new, clean sponge. You just swipe. You can, you know, you saw my other samples. You can try shapes. You could go at a diagonal. You could do rainbow. Lots of ideas for this technique. And it's not really a new technique. It was just something I enjoyed watching and trying, so I decided to show it to you tonight. This is Daffodil Delight again. I think I said that. I kind of like it better on the designer series paper. If you have a big stamp, you could I could stamp over the top of this, or stamp first. You've seen me do sponging to color in a stamped image too, so that's an idea. All right, and then our final color is going to be Pear Pizzazz. And I'm pretty sure, I washed this one out, I think. Yeah, so it looks like it's blue, but I rinsed it out and got all the ink off of it. I'm going to turn this around so I can hold the paper. Make sure I don't have ink on my fingers. Can you see okay what I'm doing? I think I was kind of close to the edge of the table. Alright, ink, 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 and swipe. Oh, I like this. This is very pretty. It'll make a pretty birthday card. Alright, so that's the ink spot swipe technique. And here's my alternative. I think we're going to use this piece to make our card. And I didn't grab cardstock. I think I better grab some cardstock. I do. Oh, yes, I did. I take that back. I have Pear Pizzazz cardstock here. Knowing that that was going to be one of our colors. It's going to be like that. And then I used I guess I was better prepared than I thought. The Tasteful Labels dies. Here, I use these dies a lot. Let me put them on the table instead. They're just great shapes. And so I have some cut in white and I have some cut in Pear Pizzazz. And I thought we could layer a few to make a focal point for our card. So they're just great shapes. So this one can layer on here. Obviously you could use different color designer series paper. You could emboss the bigger layer. Look at that, that's pretty. And these little ones, the circles go nicely on these two. So you can mix and match and have lots of fun. Again, these are the Tasteful Labels dies. And they coordinate with the Tasteful Labels, Tasteful Touches stamp set, which is a nice, that stamp set has a flower and a feather, and you can find it in the catalog because there's an index in the back of the catalog. So I have a bunch of pieces that we can play with. What do we think? I don't want to use the big one because I don't want to cover up my pretty inking. So maybe something smaller. How about that? Let's do that. Or you could go even really small and do that. What do you think? Sorry, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get an answer from you. We'll do one of those. Let me put these away. And I already have the Happy Birthday from the Enjoy the Moment stamp set on a block. It's just such a nice, simple birthday. And let's use Pear Pizzazz. We'll be consistent. Gonna grab my, this table's kind of wobbly. I haven't purchased a new one yet. Maybe in the next couple weeks. I haven't told Tony I want one, so maybe we'll consider that a Christmas present. So I want to make sure this is going to work. All right. I'm going to stamp it right in the middle. Normally I do like to stamp and then die, but I wanted these all die cut and ready to go because didn't want to take that long. All right. There's, which one? I think we'll use that one since that's the one I stamped. And we're going to put this all together, and then I thought some rhinestones would be a nice finishing touch. Kind of wish I had put rhinestones on this one. Let's get this out of the way. Grab my, make sure I don't bump you. And take your pick tool. We're going to put these out so you can see. Just think about all the color combinations you could use. Oh, so fun. Obviously you have more variety because I have more ink pads, but the I was surprised I had so many ink pads to choose from. Let's see, we need that and some dimensionals. Yes, I need to open the pack. I do use a lot of dimensionals. So thank you for joining me. I appreciate that. All right. Using our new seal adhesive. I do like it. It is a little stringy. Make sure I'm putting this the way I want it. The other day I made a card and my sentiment went upside down. All right, so there's our card. And we're just going to adhere this with seal. I kind of like it there. We're going to adhere our sentiment with, I'm already missing one. Where did it go? I don't know. That's funny. I'm going to find it somewhere. It's stuck to something. And I can't talk and take liners off dimensionals at the same time. I'm going to center that there. Hold on. Maybe my stamping was a little off. Oh well. And some rhinestones with my take your pick tool. I'm going to go under the glue dot to pick it up. Although I have to try something with you here. I saw somebody take this end. This is the putty end. I think it's almost out. But you twist this and a little bit of putty comes to the end. And she used the putty end to pick it up. I don't know. It seems to work too. I thought that was interesting. I'd never seen that before. Let's do one more. Nice. There. Happy stamping. Thanks for joining me today for my ink spot swipe technique plus alternatives. And I'll make some more cards out of these with those dies I already had. Let me pull all my cards in. And I should show you that I stamped on the envelope and I stamped on the inside. And there's my note to tell me what colors they were. So, and I have my stamp on the back, inspired to create and share with you. So thank you for joining me today. This is my favorite card. Happy stamping. And we'll see you again next week. I have started working on my Christmas decor items a little bit. So hopefully that's what we'll do next Monday. That'll be my third and final Christmas video, specific video. So we did cards and packaging, and so now we'll do, Melissa says she uses the putty end for embellishments. I know you follow the demonstrator that showed us that. So, all right. Thank you for joining me. And as I said, if you have ordered from me in the last 6 months, I am having Stampin' Up! Send you catalogs, both the January through June mini and the Celebration brochure. Again, Celebration is January and February only to start, and then we'll have a second Celebration in July and August. And by then, the new annual catalog will be out, so that'll be kind of fun to earn some free products with our new products in the annual catalog. If you have not ordered from me and would like a catalog from me, please let me know. I'd be happy to have Stampin' Up! Send you both those publications. So lots of fun things. I've gotten to see them as a demonstrator on stage. I got to see them, and the rest of the demonstrators will see it tomorrow. So a lot of fun things coming up. So happy stamping. Take care. Thanks, Mom. I'm glad you like the cards. Bye.